Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, was a slave who dreamed of freeing the oppressed across the galaxy. He gained incredible power as a Jedi Knight, yet he never returned to liberate the countless slaves still suffering on Tatooine and beyond. Was it the constraints of the Jedi Order, his own inner conflict, or the overwhelming corruption of the galaxy that held him back? Today, we'll explore the untold reasons behind Anakin's inaction and answer the question, why did Anakin refuse to free more slaves? Anakin Skywalker's failure to free more slaves on Tatooine is a complex issue rooted in his upbringing, his constraints as a Jedi, and the systemic corruption of the galaxy. From a young age, Anakin's experience as a slave under Watto left him with a profound understanding of the suffering endured by those in bondage. His freedom, facilitated by Qui-Gon Jinn during the Phantom Menace, did little to quell his survivor's guilt, as his mother, Shmi Skywalker, remained enslaved on Tatooine. When Anakin returned years later in Attack of the Clones, after experiencing a vision of his mother in pain, he discovered that she had been freed and subsequently captured by Tusken Raiders. Her death in his arms unleashed a storm of anger and grief, further complicating his perspective on slavery and justice. Anakin's position as a Jedi Knight also played a significant role in his inaction. The Jedi Order was beholden to the Republic, which largely ignored slavery in the Outer Rim. Tatooine, under Hutt control, was beyond the Republic's jurisdiction, allowing slavery to thrive unchecked. Any attempt by Anakin to intervene on Tatooine would have required him to act outside the bounds of the Jedi Code, which emphasized detachment and non-interference in matters of personal attachment. Despite his immense power, Anakin was deeply constrained by the responsibilities and limitations imposed by the Jedi Order, which viewed his lingering ties to his past as dangerous. This internal conflict, the desire to act versus the fear of disapproval, left Anakin paralyzed, perpetuating his sense of helplessness. Moreover, Anakin's growing ambition and eventual alignment with Darth Sidious added another layer to his choices. Sidious encouraged Anakin to channel his pain into anger, which drove him toward power rather than justice. Anakin's desire to control and reshape the galaxy into his vision, a vision where he could prevent suffering on a grander scale, became his priority. This focus on the larger picture, combined with his belief that the current systems were too broken to address slavery effectively, made freeing individual slaves seem insignificant to him. Anakin believed that real change could only come once he had the authority to impose his will, which he felt the Jedi Order and the Republic lacked. Furthermore, Anakin's emotional scars created a psychological barrier. Every encounter with Tatooine served as a painful reminder of his past. By distancing himself from the planet and its issues, Anakin may have unconsciously tried to escape his feelings of guilt and failure. Tatooine symbolized his powerlessness as a child, and later as a Jedi constrained by rules he often resented. To confront slavery directly would have required him to face his inner demons, something Anakin consistently avoided. Lastly, the systemic nature of slavery in the galaxy made it an overwhelming issue, even for someone of Anakin's power. The galactic economy in the Outer Rim relied on cheap labor, and the Republic's inability to govern these regions made large-scale abolition seem impossible. Anakin's actions would have been a drop in the ocean, and he likely understood that without institutional change, freeing a few slaves would only provide temporary relief. In essence, Anakin's refusal to free more slaves on Tatooine was not due to a lack of compassion, but a tragic confluence of systemic failures, personal limitations, and his own inner turmoil. His story highlights the moral complexities and failures of both the Jedi Order and the Republic, as well as Anakin's struggle to reconcile his power with his humanity.